Was the Democrat Party of the antebellum a conservative party? As you hear a lot of times from leftists who try to convince us that they were noble people, the Democrats, that is, the same people who owned slaves 100% because no Republican ever owned a slave. No, but I've never really addressed this issue on this channel. So this video is going to be two things. One, a response to a guy that I was arguing with somewhat on Facebook. It wasn't really an argument because you really didn't have any positions to come against me. However, secondly, I want to make this video to make it more broad for the audience on the conservative take. My name is Kyle, and I have about 30 years experience in political campaigning, running campaigns, being involved, being a pundit, doing this channel, etc. And so in this video, I'm going to show you that the antebellum Democrats were not conservatives. So this starts off dealing with a post that this guy made in the Civil War chat room on Facebook. And so essentially I did two videos, one while I was driving, hands-free, and another when I was parked. And I'm going to fill it in right here for you. So let's start off right here at the beginning. When you talk about the right or the left or conservatives or liberals or progressives or even Republicans or Democrats, what you have to understand is those terms are relative all around the world, because conservatism simply means to conserve your history and your culture and your values such that it doesn't change that much, because you believe in those core principles and you want to keep those principles the same going forward. And in a political ideology, that is your agenda. The left or the progressives, they go against that. They don't want to conserve those values. They want to go in a different direction. The problem is, all around the world, you have monarchs, you have dictators, you have rulers, you have kings and queens, you have noblemen, you have the church, which they were actually saying, these are our values, and it's coming from a centralized, controlled government. It did not have anything to do with individual rights. To conserve here means to go to the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers. The principle of individual rights are protected by a limited government. Thereby, the government's responsibility is to protect our God-given rights from being destroyed, removed, changed, whatever. And the reason why I did two videos was because I forgot to mention the fact that what ties this all together in terms of them being not conservative is the fact that the Democrats, the Confederacy, didn't have individual rights for blacks. And dealing with conservatism, that is what I wanted to point out in this particular video. And I mentioned that here. Because America is the only country to be founded on the principles that limited government protects your individual rights, which are given by God. That is what we have. And that is being conservative to holding those individual rights. Those individual rights adhere also to the so-called black slave here in America, the Africans who were brought in from ships, chained up and made to work for free for many, many years. Horrible. That individual right extended to them as well, which was fought and bled for at the Civil War, eventually freeing the slaves out ultimately. And so that is conservatism, conserving those individual rights. That's the difference. So in America, conservatism is absolutely unique across the world, because conservatism somewhere else is going to be to conserve the old traditions of a monarchy, of king and queen, noblemen, whatever. That is what they're doing over there. And I think this guy's conflating those two conveniently to his position. Obviously, this guy is a leftist or a Democrat. He doesn't prescribe to this. So the fact is, watch these videos and you'll see that the Democrat Party hasn't changed. They just swapped out the cotton for the votes. That's all it really is. And if you look at what they did with the Voting Rights Act of 1965, they weaponized it. They used it to stay in power, to manipulate the law, to project onto Republicans of being racist, when then themselves doing same things said, no, it wasn't about racism for us because we're Democrats. It's going to be because that is for a political expediency, which is perfectly constitutional. I believe the case is Shaw, if you want to look it up, Supreme Court case. Off the top of my head, I think that's what it was. But anyway, I'm digressing. Getting back to my point, that the parties didn't switch, and the principles between conservatism and liberalism or progressivism needs to be framed in that way. Otherwise, you will lose the debate because you will get in a word podge of semantics. And also, if we look at the Constitution of the Confederacy, they put slavery in it and made it a mandatory deal. It was going to be there. Not only that, they said that states could not outlaw slavery. So instead of them saying they want states' rights, they want the states' rights except for their ability to abolish slavery. So you tell me, and you don't hear this at all from these Democrats who try and apologize for their slavery past. And so there's the video. I hope this makes sense. I'll leave links below documenting all this. And I just had to respond. And so if you like what we do here on this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter to you right, then please comment below and share with your friends and like and subscribe because it helps us grow. And with that being said, check out some more content that we have for you right here.